So what better ego boost than to be involved in the biggest thing to happen in YouTube, probably since I put my Kevin Keegan phone call on. Yeah, what's happening, guys? I made a video yesterday I was going to put up today, and in the meanwhile so much has happened, I'm making another one. So yeah, Griff here, thanks for rejoining me. Sorry about the hat, but it's getting very cold, isn't it? On and off screen. Overnight developments. It's kicking off again with Decca Heggie and Christie. Their square go to end the beef. It hasn't worked. I think I touched on in the last video why it's all reignited, but it's just gone off now. They're now talking about, another fight in March. We're going to go into training camps and all that, and not sure where it's going to be or how it's going to run. But the problem here, right, as I see it, is what you could loosely term street life has now gone online, hasn't it? So a lot of these YouTubers involved in the podcast wars, etc., are people who have lived on the fringes of normal society in some shape or form, be that the fighting man or the criminal fraternity, and now they brought it onto a more socially acceptable platform, i.e. the online YouTube world. And it doesn't really work, does it, on this platform? Anybody who's been involved in street life, for want of a better term, will know it's a murky place, isn't it? It's very much an every man for himself society. There's not a hell of a lot of trust out there on road. And the severe, I always found, I don't do drugs anymore, but I found that the lack of customer services in the drugs world is severely lacking. So obviously these types of things aren't carrying well into this sort of life. Basically what I'm trying to say in my own stupid roundabout way is, if people adopted a more business-like approach to illegal activities, or now to YouTube beefs, things would be very, very much beneficial to all concerned. That's the problem, I think, in all these sort of spheres. Lack of cooperation, So this is my proposal for everyone, okay? A night to remember, the beef of all beefs, the beef off, March, okay? Venue to be determined. 3 fights, screened live on pay-per-view. I'm thinking about $9.99, okay? Because let's be honest, it's not Canelo, it's not Tyson Fury. So I'm thinking $9.99, right? A nice round figure. And a little bit of the old 999, yeah. We all know what that number is. So this is like the 999, maybe that could be the name of the night, actually. 999. Anyway, I digress. 3 fights, live on pay-per-view, venue to be determined, filmed properly, a lot of behind-the-scenes action, cameras in the dressing rooms, right? First fight, living in London, who's recently made a comeback and said he wants to be all peaceful and all that, but living in London against Ditchy. Now, there's talk of them going on a live to chat it all out tonight, but anybody who knows the story knows that those two have crossed paths. I think that'll be a lovely little curtain raiser to see those two in action. Second fight. Now, this one will bring the numbers in. Darren Gee against James English. Now, they've got some extraordinary beef going on, been ongoing for quite a while. James has been doing a bit of boxing, and I'm sure Darren could be tempted into this fight if the terms were correct. So that'll be the second fight, James English against Darren Gee. Yeah, the only issue with that, I see it as Darren Gee was supposed to have a fight with Fighting Trolls, but that hasn't really developed. But in Darren's sort of clapback vid, he was like talking about Scouse rules, you know, for fighting, and he wants it to be like knees, elbows, kicking, biting, you know, anything goes basically. I think if it's going to be pay-per-view, I think it has to be some sort of rules, just legally speaking, really. So it may have to be a square go, bare knuckle boxing match. So yeah, that'll be a cracking little second fight, Darren Gee and James English. And then the last fight then will be the rematch, Decca Heggie v Danny Christie. Now, when you look at these people, between them, obviously, you know, Sean Atwood will probably get involved, maybe be in Gee's corner. We'll get all the big YouTubers involved. I'm sure Uncle K, who is rapidly becoming one of my favourite people to watch in this sphere, very funny chap. Shout out to Uncle K. You know, maybe he could be in Living in London's corner, because I think he wasn't really impressed by Liam Ditchy's Garlic Mushroom Gate affair. James English brings a lot of viewers in, and obviously the Decca Heggie and Christie fight's being viewed probably in the millions. So if you could put these three fights on, right, in the same night, done properly, filmed properly, big build-up, you know, 2-hour show, $9.99, I think you could realistically look at pulling in probably in the hundreds of thousands of viewers live, and then millions afterwards. So if they were to... the reason it won't work is because there's too many people involved, and logistically it means everybody'd have to cooperate. So this is why it wouldn't work. But what you could do is set up a completely new YouTube channel, okay, where the fight would be showed. Obviously all the revenue, the ad revenue and everything that comes off that will be split. So say for example it gets 100,000 views at £10, that's 1 million quid, right? On top of that, the advertising, the merchandise, you know, the revenue from all the build-up videos, you know, you do it properly. You need somebody like Dana White running it, either me or Dana White. Probably Dana would be better. You know, you could have press conferences, you could have a face-off, you could have all that sort of 2-week build-up. So we're talking ad revenue that'll be generated in the millions, plus the gate receipts on the night. You could probably get 5,000, paying 50 quid each in a venue. That's another $250,000, I think. So I think this evening could generate, in total, probably close to sort of 5-6 million quid. Now you've got 6 people involved. You know, they could all take out £500,000 each off this. Okay. Obviously money'd go to whoever's organising it and all that sort of stuff. And it's going to cost money to put it on properly. But yeah, done properly, these 3 fights could generate profit of £5 million. All these guys take their money, and part of the deal is everybody involved has to sort of, after the fight, take 3 months off YouTube to enjoy their money and to take a good long look at themselves, okay? I'm still looking to fight Dan TDM, but he won't get back to me. If he's up for it, we'll go on first. It won't take me long. So we'll have a 4-fight thing there. Obviously he's got 27 million followers, subscribers, but none of them will be old enough to watch. So yeah, maybe we'll drop me and Dan out of it. But as I say, it won't happen because to organise it, and there's too many egos involved. But imagine that. I'd paid $9.99 to watch these 3 fight. And I'd watch all the build-up, as would hundreds of thousands of people. you could make an absolute bloody bomb, boys. So, you know, have a think about it, right? You know, maybe we could get Dana White involved. Could you imagine it? 2 weeks of build-up. Big press conference with the 6 of them there. The face-offs, the weigh-ins. Unbelievable. Do you know what I mean? And then they all walk away with £500,000 each. They're all making videos for the cash. Let's be honest. All these people are on YouTube for an ego boost and to make money. Yeah? So what better ego boost than to be involved in the biggest thing to happen in YouTube? Probably since I put my Kevin Keegan phone call on. And make a load of money, have an ego boost, and you all have 3 months off then for, you know, to regroup and come back with different content. Could have maybe, you know, commentary team, Uncle K, people like that in the commentary booth. Get another sort of professional commentator in. And what an event. What an event. Think about it, lads, yeah? Think about it. You know, there's all this amateur beefing going on. Let's take it to the next level. And if you're going to argue and you all want to fight and you all think you're harder than next man, well, let's do it properly, yeah? So, living in London against Liam Ditchy, a little curtain raiser. Darren Gee against James English, and then Decca Heggie against Danny Christie. Already, Darren Gee and James English are arguing that they should be top of the bill. But don't worry about that, lads. It's going up in weight divisions, yeah? So you don't have to worry about, you know, thinking at your second best, okay? March, apparently, Decca and Christie are talking about fighting. So, you know, if Dana could get involved ASAP, if somebody could send this to Dana, if he could get involved, you know, and help out with the organisational side of it, oh, it's going to be cracking, isn't it? Can you imagine? Living in London against Ditchy, Darren Gee against English, Decca Heggie against Christie, Uncle K in the commentary booth, 100, 200,000 people watching live on pay-per-view, 10 million views afterwards. All of these men become very rich off the back of it, and they all take 3 months off YouTube as well. Think about it. Thanks, guys. Share, subscribe, ring my bell, comment down below, tell me what you think. Do all those things that, you know. Oh, excuse me. That's a good ending, Griff. Nice. Yeah, do all those things, which will help my channel grow. I can make a load of money, and because we're all in it for the money. Let's be honest. None of us want to work. Thanks.